Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to, I don't start my videos off like this, so cause I did some other videos and yeah, my brain is locked into those videos, alright? But anyways, moving on. IGN, alright, has uploaded the official review. I always go to IGN when it comes to reviews, and I was checking out this game and I was like, nah, let me see what it's overall about, cause I did hear some bad things about it. And that's why I'm like, I was going to go out and buy this game because I was like, no, when I heard about this, I was like, oh, this is going to be sick. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what it's going to be about. But I don't know whether or not I am going to ever buy this game. Maybe if it comes out for free. Well, Xbox, they don't do that Xbox Game Pass. Or not Game Pass, but like those like monthly free games. I know PlayStation still does. So, yeah, maybe on there I might do it if they ever do decide to give it out for free. But yeah, I'm still iffy about if I'll go out and buy this game and stuff. So, but nah, anyways, let's go ahead, check out this video. Make sure if you guys haven't, go subscribe to IGN for more videos like this. And then that being said,
zombies can be fun to mow down, but they also run the risk of being one of the least interesting monster enemy types around. A slow, lumbering, decaying husk that's better off buried than occupying our attention. If nothing else, The Walking Dead Destinies, based off the otherwise fantastic early seasons of
why
the TV
not,
show.
if he has the knife, why not just grab him and stab him in the head or something? That's how I'm like, bruh, my thing is this, I get you're trying to add like a fun factor, but I'm like, at the same time, I'm not trying to be sitting there, smashing a button, trying to hit a zombie and stuff with a bat when you could just have like some stealth kill where you come up, grab the zombie, stab him in the. I'm saying I watched the all of the Walking Dead and stuff. I know what I'm talking about, so I'm not no zombie killing expert, but I'm just saying I at least know what I'm talking about.
Succeeds in embodying all their worst qualities. In its ugly, shuffling attempts to stand tall even while looking like a rotting husk of a game from the Xbox 360 days, Destinies deserves neither your attention nor access to your wallet. And we were better off if this boring mess had stayed buried in the past from which it seems to have exhumed its broken mechanics. While it earns a small amount of credit for at least attempting to play with the plots that diverge from the TV show, little else is done to elevate it above the muck of banal design.
Yeah, they might have to come out with some updates.
The laughable sense that this is barely a rough draft of a game.
I mean, look at Cyberpunk. So I'm saying, like, yeah, I think if they work on it, because in this day and age where you got games updating left and right, yeah, you guys could do something with this game. So they should have just came out with that open world Call of Duty, or not Call of Duty, but Walking Dead game like they said they were going to do. Yeah, the Overkill Walking Dead game. They should have just came out with that. I think from what I heard, people said that game had released for like 2 days or something, then they took it off because it wasn't as good, or I don't know, but I'm like, fam, they should have stuck with that and then just maybe added this in there as a DLC or something.
Longtime fans of the TV show are clearly the target audience here, since the characters poorly mimic the visual likeness of their real performers. But aside from trying to strike a chord through recognizability, Destinies presumes you know the entire melody, as you're unceremoniously thrown into the shoes of Rick Grimes after he wakes up in the hospital alone. It is here, right at the beginning of what became 8 to 9 painful hours, that everything falls apart. The hospital is naturally filled with zombies.
I don't remember Rick doing that.
Basic mechanics like pushing and sneaking and healing that we've seen in essentially every third-person post-apocalyptic horror game ever, but worse.
Easier than stabbing, right?
Zombies are of course mindless by design, but these are some of the most incompetent enemies you will encounter in any video game.
Aside from it being taking so long, that's crazy.
Models, they also get stuck in walls, glitch through the ceiling, collide with each other, and pose about as much threat as a wet sock on a carpet. Annoying and unsightly, but otherwise forgettable. Destinies is ugly as sin, with hideous character models, terrible lighting, and homely environments that themselves are reused multiple times. I've been playing plenty of games out of my backlog from the Xbox 360 days on my Series X.
So you can't just walk up. Yeah, because I'm like, that swinging at that is crazy.
Looks worse than the nearly 20-year-old GTA 4. The texture resolution reminds you of bad webcams we all endured during early COVID-19 Zoom calls. At the very least, the frame rates seem consistent at 60 frames per second on PS5 when it wasn't crashing or failing to display its so-called cutscenes.
Don't hurt my little girl.
I also hit several game-breaking bugs, one of which required a full restart. Also, during a boss fight, my character refused to interact with the enemy to initiate a cutscene, not to mention sound and music would vanish for no reason until I restarted. Speaking of,
What?
the cutscenes themselves are consistent with those cheap-looking placeholder
Is that
types we
supposed to
see
be
in games
baggy?
like Redfall and Rise of Kong, which Destiny's publisher GameWorld was also behind. Characters are displayed in static poses while their voice actors deliver lines, giving you the opportunity to see their terrible designs in full glory. They are clearly meant to vaguely resemble their TV counterparts.
I feel like Rick, he kind of looks like, I don't know, like in an alternate universe, like Lester from GTA 5. Like, I don't know, he looks like that, but could, like, maybe be like a 19-year-old version of, like, Lester from GTA 5, like, before he became Lester and things.
But they look like what you'd get if you asked me to draw them from memory. Strangely enough, the voice performances are actually not atrocious, but the actors didn't have much to work with. For example, they all have one-liners when taking
What's
down
up with
enemies
this
or fighting them off.
Blood's boiling.
They repeat this endlessly.
My blood's boiling.
In the context of a dangerous world of constant terror, hearing weird action movie one-liners from both an ex-cop and a 70-year-old farmer was jarring.
Stay alert, Herschel.
Destinies doesn't even retell the show's story well. For example, early on, when Rick's son Carl is shot, it is never explained who shot him, and no one seems to know or care at all. In fact, Otis, the culprit in the show, never even appears in Destinies. Instead,
What?
the survivors simply grab the boy and run off to the Green Farm story arc that infamously slowed the series' pace down.
That makes no sense, because I'm like, fam, I felt like that would have been like a key thing to add in this game, where it's like, yeah, that episode, so yeah, that was like the first episode of the second season when Carl got shot because Otis was out there hunting and stuff. So yeah, they maybe should have did have like even that part where, and they probably didn't even want to add all that because they were like, this game seems like it was rushed. Because I'm saying, I would have added that and had it where like, do you kill Otis or do you lose out on the so do you kill Otis, take up the supplies, and then you get there faster, or do you let Otis live, and then you guys end up having to drop the supplies, and then you gotta go out and do some missions or whatever to find the supplies and stuff. Yeah, I'm saying they should have, I think they should have waited a little bit longer on this game. Because that was a key part.
Destinies has going for it is being able to play with the titular dynamic, the fates of its characters. There are many occasions where you must make a binary decision that leads to the death or abandonment of a survivor. If you know the show, it is of course enjoyable to make the decision that runs against the established plot. Most notably, you can basically recast the main character, choosing who wins the fight between Rick and Shane after they spend some time at the farm, letting Shane take over as husband and father to Rick's family. That's a pretty dramatic fundamental change.
Only one of us is going back to that farm.
It's clear the developers had some love for the show, given the work put into portraying Shane as we've never seen him. His hair and beard grow out, he forms relationships with characters he never met, and so on. Another good example of an impactful decision involves changing who becomes the final boss's right-hand man, flowing from a decision you make in the first few hours. But unfortunately, this is only interesting conceptually, since it fails miserably in execution, and naturally most decisions do little to
Like,
affect
bro, how
the
many
actual plot.
headshots it takes to
The
shoot the
survivors move
zombie?
through different camp areas in their grand road trips, such as the previously mentioned farm and later a prison. These become hub areas where you do three things: start the next main and side missions, resolve a meaningless conflict between two characters, and talk to other survivors.
Don't you look down at your nose at me, sonny boy.
And by talk, I mean each person will say one arbitrary generic line whenever you go back to the hub area, offering no reflection on the events happening around them. For example, Rick's wife Lori comments on her pregnancy,
I couldn't bring a baby into this.
and she's saying this to the man who blew her husband's brains out. Each main mission usually sees you playing
That's
as a different
Lori?
survivor.
Bro, I thought that was
Often
Maggie.
this makes little sense since you're generally by yourself or playing as the worst person for the task at hand. For example, a few hours into Destinies, Lori gives birth in the prison. But a few minutes later, you're playing as her to recover items from a nearby department store. There were many other survivors who did not just endure a birth in a zombie apocalypse who could have gone, but sure, let's send the new mother. No explanation is given.
That's crazy. That is some crazy stuff,
Destinies
man.
attempts to shake up the scenarios in its main quest, but they all come down to either getting to a specific part of the map or collecting items. Very rarely will two characters be together, assisting one another, which was a central focus of the entire show and its spin-offs. There was an opportunity to have one character make decisions that a second
Damn,
character would have to
what was
endure.
that?
Consequent.
What
There
did
was
he
an
hit?
opportunity to have one character make decisions that a second
Oh, it
character would
must
have
have
to
been something
endure
on
the
the
consequences
zombie.
of. But Destinies
Hey,
did
bro, you
nothing with it.
explosive boxes?
In fact, it's just not very good at consequences in general. The central and titular dynamic of Destinies is watching your choices define the lives of these survivors, but it doesn't function well enough to maintain the illusion. More than once I saw characters I'd killed deliberately or inadvertently appear during cutscenes. Rick's son, who died from a gunshot in my playthrough, was running from the farm in a static cutscene. Rick himself, who had Shane kill, appeared for a solid few seconds battling the Horde in the final fight. This may be a universe where the dead return from the grave, but I don't
this
think
game a
Destinies
little
is doing
different.
it. Each survivor has various unique skills that can be upgraded by acquiring skill points, either through completing tasks or finding radios for some reason. For example, the pizza delivery guy can upgrade his sneaking movement speed to avoid conflict with zombies, or Rick's revolver can do more damage. The skill tree is a massive eyesore and ultimately meaningless. In the first 2 hours, I already maxed it out for everyone.
That's gonna be great.
Even fully upgraded, combat in Destinies is some of the worst you will experience and feels as though it might have been lifted from shovelware of previous console generations. There is no kickback or feel to guns or melee weapons. Shooting is floaty and unresponsive with terrible autolock that has you targeting enemies nowhere near you. Every character has the exact same set of moves, whether they are a fit hunter or a new mom. Characters can use a kind of super move when they've built enough adrenaline, which restores health and kills enemies instantly. But it also feels pointless when you're fighting zombies that are so slow and die in 2 hits. You do eventually begin to encounter tougher human enemies, but their armor and agility just means they are more irritating and take longer to kill. Oddly, they are also introduced out of nowhere and not spoken of at all. They first appear during Shane's only flashback sequence to when he was trying to rescue Rick from the hospital. Who are they? What do they want? Why are they attacking Shane? Sorry, you'll never know if you haven't watched the TV series. Shane himself never reacts to it.
Yeah.
A boring, ugly mess of a game to be avoided at all costs, The Walking Dead Destinies fails to do anything interesting with the story and the characters of the popular TV show it's based on. While the ghost of a promising concept haunts the periphery, that of making choices different from what happened in the early seasons of the show and watching them play out, its horrendous graphics, weightless combat, repetitive mission design, and as many bugs as zombies reduce Destinies to the gaming equivalent of a biological hazard.
They released this on Switch too? Dang.
For more zombies, check out our reviews of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Zombies and Alan Wake 2. And for everything
Alan
else,
Wake is a zombie
stick
game?
with IGN.
Huh. I didn't know that. I knew of the game, I just didn't know what it was about. But yeah, I don't know if I'll buy that game. It's one of those things where I'm like, maybe one day I might, if it's on sale or something, but yeah, or if it's like given out for free, but I'll be more so playing it just to get the achievements or something. I don't think it'll be a game where I'm like, oh, I gotta play it over and over and over. Yeah, I'll probably play it to just see how each story and all that stuff goes out, but yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, nah, that game, I'm not gonna say that it needs to be a free game, but I think if they come out with some updates and stuff and just fix the game up and make it look a little bit, better. At the end of the day, it's up to the developers if they want to do that. If not, then, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I could see it being one of those games where they just have it on sale during, like, the holidays or whenever they decide to have a game on sale, and what is it, like, $30, $40, and it'll probably be, like, maybe $1 or $2 or something. I might end up getting it, but, yeah, I don't know, bro. Full price for that, I don't know, man. Yeah, I do think that they should come out with some updates to just fix the bugs at least. But as far as like the rest of the game, yeah, leave it how like you guys want to leave it. But the bugs, yeah, I think that's something that y'all need to fix. So, but anyways, make sure if you guys haven't, go subscribe to IGN for more videos like this. Like, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.